Imagine finding out that the creepy guy who lives near you has been carrying your missing house keys for over a month. Not a spare key, not a copy, your actual keys. And the worst part? You only found out because he was caught going through your car late at night. That realization hit me like a truck, because suddenly every strange encounter I'd had with him started making a lot more sense. This all started a little over a month ago. I'm in my mid-20s and live in an apartment complex with my girlfriend. Most days are pretty normal. Work, home, relax, repeat. There was one guy, though, that I'd occasionally see around the property. He looked around my age, maybe a little older. I didn't know his name. I'd only ever seen him wearing the exact same hoodie and clothes every single time. At first, he was just another neighbor. Then things got weird. One evening after work, I came home exhausted. As I walked toward my building, I noticed the guy sitting alone near a small garden area outside. He was crying. At first, I considered walking past him, but something in me felt bad. Maybe he was having a breakdown. Maybe he needed help. So I stopped and asked if he was okay. The moment he responded, every alarm bell in my body went off. He looked up at me and said, "My life is ruined. Everyone around me keeps making it worse." There was something about the way he said it. Something cold. Something angry. I instantly wanted to leave. But there was a problem. He was bigger than me. Not huge, just big enough to make me think twice. And while he was talking, he kept reaching into the pocket of his hoodie. I couldn't tell what he was touching. That made me even more nervous. Trying to end the conversation peacefully, I gave him some generic advice. I told him everybody goes through hard times, that therapy could help, that talking to friends might help. I was basically saying anything I could think of while trying to figure out how to leave. My gut was screaming at me to get out of there. Eventually, I told him my feet were killing me from work and that I needed to go upstairs. I smiled, turned around, and left. I remember feeling relieved the moment I got inside. But that wasn't the end of it. Not even close. A few days later, my girlfriend and I were outside around 10 at night. Just relaxing, talking, nothing unusual. Then suddenly, she looked behind me. Her face changed instantly. I turned around, and there he was, standing only a few feet away, completely silent. Neither of us had heard him approach. It was like he had appeared out of nowhere. Immediately, we decided to leave. We walked toward my car to grab some groceries we'd left inside. As we moved, he moved. Every time I looked back, he was still there, not speaking, not smiling, just following us. Always a few feet behind, close enough to make us uncomfortable, far enough to pretend it wasn't intentional. The second we got our groceries, we practically rushed back inside. After that night, I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right, but I had no idea how bad things actually were. Around 5 weeks earlier, I had lost my keys. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I've misplaced things before. I figured maybe I dropped them somewhere. Maybe my cat had knocked them behind furniture. Maybe they were simply gone forever. So I replaced them and moved on. Then came last night. My girlfriend was coming home from work. As she pulled into the parking lot, she noticed someone near my vehicle. That someone was him, the neighbor. Except this time, he wasn't standing nearby. He was going through my car. My girlfriend stayed inside the vehicle and confronted him. That's when she saw something that made her stomach drop. My missing keys. The same keys that had vanished more than a month earlier. He had them. Think about that for a second. For over a month, this guy had possession of my keys. A complete stranger. A man who made both of us uncomfortable. A man who silently followed us at night. A man who always seemed to appear out of nowhere. And now he was standing beside my car with those keys in his hand. When confronted, he eventually gave them back. Just like that. No explanation. No reason. Nothing. We immediately contacted the police. But unfortunately, nothing really came from it. By then, I was panicking. My mind started racing. Had he entered my apartment? Had he copied the keys? Had he been watching us this whole time? The more I thought about it, the worse it got. The next morning, I saw him again. Standing outside. Acting completely normal. Like nothing had happened. I gave him a look. He looked back. And then we both continued on our way. Since then, I've been paying attention to everything. Every sound, every movement, every strange thing around the apartment complex. Maybe there's an innocent explanation. Maybe there isn't. But when someone spends weeks carrying around your missing keys, it's hard to convince yourself everything is fine. One thing is certain. I am staying alert. If you discover that a strange neighbor had been carrying your missing keys for over a month, what would you do? Would you assume there was an explanation? Or would you immediately believe something much darker was going on? Let me know in the comments.